We open with a breathtaking aerial shot of a lush green jungle. The sound of birds chirping fills the air. The camera zooms in on Lila, a young woman in her 20s walking carefully through the jungle with a camera in hand, observing the wildlife. Voiceover, Lila.
The rain stopped.
I've always been fascinated by the
still.
untamed world of the jungle.
Keto bent
There's a
down
beauty
and
in the
touched
wilderness
the
that calls to
gently.
me, a place where every
rain
creature,
stopped,
no matter
and
how
the air
wild,
grew
has
still.
a story to tell.
Keto bent
Setup.
down and touched the
Lila
wooden
is a
figure
wildlife
gently.
photographer and adventurer
The
who's
rain
been trekking
stopped,
through the jungle
and the
for
air grew
weeks,
still.
documenting rare animals.
Keto bent down
2.
and touched the
First
wooden
encounter.
figure gently.
The injured gorilla, 2 minutes. Visual.
It truly is
Lila
quite a day
walks
out
deeper
here.
into the jungle and stumbles upon Kuma,
you could have been
an
there.
injured gorilla trapped in a hunter's snare. Kuma growls in
Truly
pain,
is quite a day
looking
out
both
here.
dangerous and vulnerable.
I wish you could have been
Voiceover.
there.
Lila.
The animals
But the
of
jungle had a
forest
surprise in store
watched
for me today.
curiously.
A powerful creature, trapped and suffering. A gorilla,
The animals
unlike
of the
any
forest
I'd ever seen.
watched curiously.
Action, Lila, hesitant but driven by compassion, approaches the gorilla. Despite her fear, she manages to calm him with soft words and gentle movements. She cautiously untangles the snare, treating Kuma's wounds with a mix of jungle herbs and care. Kuma's reaction. Initially aggressive, Kuma slowly realizes that Lila means no harm and starts to trust her, even allowing her to treat his wounds. Lila visits Kuma daily, bringing him food and medicine. She talks to him while sitting nearby, showing him she's not afraid. Kuma, in turn, watches her every move.
Keto would often
Every day
watch the
I
birds
came
in
back,
the sky and the
and
animals
every
in the
day
forest,
Kuma and I grew
wondering what it
closer.
felt like to have a
There was
friend.
something deeply peaceful about being in his
Keto
presence.
would often watch the birds
Action.
in the sky and
Show
the
the
animals
gradual
in the forest,
development of their
wondering
bond.
what it felt like to have
Lila
a
starts
friend.
to feed Kuma, and he reciprocates by leading her to hidden places in the jungle where she discovers new wildlife. They grow into a quiet understanding of each other's habits. Visual cue. Lila helps Kuma to walk by supporting him when his leg is weak. At night, they sit together under the stars, silent, as if sharing a deep connection. 4. The poacher's threat. Tension builds.
realized that,
2 minutes.
though she was
Visual.
just a piece of wood.
One morning, while
bond
exploring,
they had formed
Lila
was
notices a
real.
group of poachers in the distance, setting
He
traps
realized
and
that,
looking for gorillas.
though she was just a piece of
Voiceover.
wood,
Lila.
the bond
But
they
our
had
peaceful
formed
time
was
wouldn't
real.
last forever. The jungle's dangers were always
From that
lurking in
day
the shadows.
Keto
Action.
no longer
Lila's
roamed
heart
the
races
forest
as she
alone.
realizes the poachers are looking for Kuma. She rushes to warn
From
him,
that
but
day
they get
forward,
caught. Kuma's
Keto
deep
no
growl
longer
echoes
roamed
as
the
he
forest
confronts the
alone.
poachers, but they start closing in, armed with rifles.
From that day
Tension.
forward,
The camera
Keto
cuts
no
back and
longer
forth
roamed
between
the
Lila's
forest
desperate
alone.
face and Kuma's protective stance. The poachers start approaching, forcing Lila to think quickly. Visual. Lila runs towards the poachers, distracting them by knocking over nearby trees and making noise, trying to get their attention. She's willing to risk her life for Kuma. Voiceover. Lila. I knew I had to protect him. We had come so far, and I couldn't let anyone take him away from me. Action. Kuma sees Lila's risk and, in an unexpected show of loyalty, charges at the poachers. With his mighty strength, he scares them away. In the chaos, Lila is able to escape with him into the jungle. Visual cue. Kuma roars in defense of Lila, making the poachers run off in fear. The poachers flee, and Lila and Kuma find a hidden cave deep in the jungle where they can rest and recover. Voiceover. Lila. We were free. But this moment didn't just mark the end of a danger. It marked the beginning of something beautiful.
As the years passed,
Kuma and I,
the
we were no
forest
longer
thrived,
just an
and the
adventurer
story
and a
of the
wild
gorilla and
animal.
his wooden
We
friend
were
became a legend.
family action.
As the years
The scene
passed,
shows Lila
the
and
forest
Kuma rebuilding
thrived,
their lives
and the
together,
story of the
finding
gorilla and
food,
his wooden
protecting
friend
each
became a
other, and
legend.
sharing peaceful moments.
As the
Lila
years
sets up a
passed,
small camp
the
in the
forest
cave,
thrived,
while Kuma
and the
helps her
story
gather
of the
food
gorilla
and
his
fend off
wooden
smaller
friend became a
predators.
legend.
Visual cue.
As the
As they
years
sit by a
passed,
fire at
the
night,
forest thrived,
Lila looks at
and
Kuma
the
with
story of the
admiration.
gorilla and his
She
wooden
knows they've
friend
formed a
became a
deep,
legend.
unspoken bond.
As the years
Visual.
passed,
Lila
the
looks
forest
at Kuma,
thrived,
smiling
and the story
softly
of
as
the
they sit
gorilla
under
and
a
his
massive
wooden friend
tree.
became a legend.
Kuma leans against her, his
As the
enormous
years
frame
passed,
protective
the
yet
forest
gentle.
thrived,
They
and the
share a
story
quiet
of the
moment
gorilla
together,
and his wooden
understanding
friend
each
became a
other's
legend.
feelings without words.
But just as he
Voiceover.
was about to give
Lila.
up,
Sometimes,
faint
love is
rustling
more
in the
than just
trees.
words. It's in the quiet moments we
But
share.
just as he was
Kuma
about to
wasn't
give up,
just a gorilla anymore.
he
He
heard
was
a
my
faint
friend, my
rustling in the
protector,
trees.
my family. Action. Lila
But
rests
just as
her
he
head
was
on
about to
Kuma's
give up,
shoulder, her hand gently
he heard
stroking
a
his
faint
fur.
rustling in
Kuma
the trees.
gazes into the horizon, his expression calm
But
and
just as he was
content.
about to
The
give up,
gorilla and the wooden friend.
he heard a
Once,
faint
in the
rustling
depths
in
of an
the
ancient
trees.
forest, there was a mighty gorilla named
But just as
Keto.
he was about to
He
give
was
up,
strong, wise,
he
and
heard
had
a
ruled the
faint
forest for
rustling
many
in the
years.
trees.
His power and presence were enough to command
But just
respect
as he
from
was
all
about to give
creatures,
up,
large and small.
he heard
However,
a faint
despite
rustling
his
in the
strength,
trees.
Keto was a solitary being. His
But
heart,
just as he was
though
about to
fierce,
give up,
carried a deep loneliness.
he heard a faint rustling in the trees.